I watched a video from Dark Journalist about Gurdjieff, the law of accidents, the law of accident, from the Gurdjieff work. And of course dark journalists work with any mystery school, and dark journalists work in general. And on the YouTube channel is just exemplary, and it's brilliant to watch. It's often 3 hours long video cast, and it's always incredible to watch. The information that he brings in and he cites from all the books, the authors, the researchers, the mystery school adepts, the witnesses, everything he does to me is just absolutely brilliant, and it gives me such deep insight to my own journey, especially around the mystery school work, and his own knowledge and experience of mystery school work for over 30 years. So the other day he's talking about the magnetic center, and this is a very important part of the mystery school work, the magnetic center. And my perceptions around that magnetic center come forth from the place of like your resonance. What are you magnetizing and bringing into your life that you need to experience in order to have growth and deeper understanding and awareness of who you are and where you're at in your personal growth experience and your experience of life, right? So as you may have known in other videos, I was full-time carer for a dear friend of mine, perhaps my closest friend over the last 4 years, who just recently transitioned over and left his body behind and is no longer Jeff. There is no Jeff. There's only awareness. My friend Mayank said, Jeff has become what he always was, which was the awareness. And this is one thing for me I've learned about in regards to my magnetic center, what I'm experiencing, how it shifts and changes and moves fluidly with the experiences that I'm generating and also going through, is that I will pull into my life through my resonance and experience that shows me and gives me deeper awareness around an experience that I'm curious about. And curiosity is a big part of my life. And I was curious about the nature of the death experience, but also the experience of transitioning, but also curious around the nature of awareness. Because for the longest time, my own journey of conscious awareness, I understood, and not intellectualized, but embodied this awareness behind my personas, behind my personalities. There's a deep awareness, a stillness, a witness, a perception, and that's my spirit in my body, in my vehicle, my lens, to experience this frequency band we call reality through my 5 senses and other more subtle senses as I cultivate those as well. But my magnetic center around this nature of the experience of death, well, there is no death, there's only life, but transitioning from the lens, out of the lens, and experiencing and becoming one with everything, expanding beyond the lens into all that is, ever has been and ever will be. And for me, before my friend transitioned over, my dear friend, who's no longer Jeff, because Jeff's the memory of the past. Jeff to me is a memory. The whole idea of Jeff, legal name Jeff Kendall, is no longer, it's just a memory for me. It's in the past. In the present, Jeff is part of me because of the awareness that I feel within my body, mind, and spirit. He's in that awareness because he's part of it, always has been, and now is more than ever. There's a U2 song, I think it's called Dirty Day, where Bono sings, I'm part of you even more when they put me in the ground. And that's the truth behind the awareness, because you leave the lens and you're part of everything. So where I am in the Woodhull Forest Muriwai Park right now, that awareness that was my friend Jeff is all around me and everything, and including me as well. And it always has been. But now it's free of the container. And for me, my magnetic center brought me into the awareness of that, but also brought me into the awareness of the fact that there's so many distractions, misdirections, flashing lights, people, experiences that take me away from my awareness of self, my true awareness, and bring me into a persona, a mask that I have to wear to deal with someone else who can relate to me by being someone that they can relate to, or my personality when I'm triggered by someone's actions, words or deeds, and then a part of my part of my conditioning comes forward as a persona as well, to be able to deal with the situation I find myself in that moment. Also awareness, but it's not my true awareness, it's a persona. So I also had this, around my magnetic center, around the idea of awareness, I was brought into a place of deeper understanding that that's not who I am. That's a persona, it's a mask that I put on to deal with a situation or an individual or an experience, in order for that individual, that experience, to navigate it safely and feel safe myself. But my true awareness, my stillness, my void within myself is just simply that, a void. And when my friend passed over and became that awareness, a wonderful Australian bushflower remedy and psychic woman named Kerry Marsh, who was in Peka on the Kapiti Coast. I'm now in Muriwai. The Kapiti Coast is about 7.5 hours that way. She did a meditation and called that energy that was in that body, in that lens, called Jeff Kendall. She called it in. And then he said to her, that energy said to her, because it wasn't Jeff's the memory, the awareness said to her that that awareness understood the nature of what my friends Leah, Jason and I were doing, and other friends Ben and Kelly were doing as well, to bring him into that state of acknowledgement. And before he passed and transitioned, he acknowledged and took accountability for every decision he made in regards to his own journey with this disease in his body, which is massive, taking accountability and responsibility for the creation of his experience. But he could see outside the lens of the body that what we had done and what we were doing, and he accepted the fact that he'd done what he'd done, and that he was feeling euphoric, joyful and empowered and excited about his journey, moving forward from where he was in a position of awareness, because he was everywhere and part of everything. He told us to fly high and fly high for freedom. It was beautiful. It touched me in my heart, and I felt him. I could feel him when I read the words on the text message. I heard it from Leah as well. I could feel him around me, and that was my magnetic center showing me the nature of existence through my friend. And the greatest gift he gave to me as his transitioning was his dignity, his humor. We had a talk a week before he passed in his sleep, peacefully, thankfully, because for the 7 weeks I was with him, there was a lot of pain while he was in his body, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of humiliation for him, not for me, but for him. And as I cared for him deeply in that way that I did, I also had to transition away from that space to create the space between us to be able to deal with how I felt. And over the last 4 weeks since he's transitioned over, I've had to decompress from that 7 weeks, and I still am decompressing in my own way through my own magnetic center. I'm realizing that my awareness is saying to me, decompress, 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 decompress. And as I was having this experience of remembering this, like the idea of this decompression that came into me, the awareness behind that was saying to me, not the persona or the personality or the conditioning, the awareness was saying to me, this is what you need to do. Is simply be in the void and be held in the void. Don't rush. Let the spaciousness fill in your life. Feel the spaciousness and the curiosity of where you want to go from here. Don't feel like, because for a little while there I was caught up in the machinations of my personality, my persona. What am I going to do with my life now that my friend has transitioned? I now have no identity, because before my identity was looking after my friend, being full-time carer for my friend and my dear brother, who was in the past now, but his awareness is everywhere. That was my identity for 7 weeks. That was what I was doing. Now that he's transitioned over, and he's now part of everything and everywhere, and all that is, never has been and never will be. And he's euphorically having this incredible journey of existence on his new adventure of existence. I have this magnetic center. I've had this awareness around that, this curiosity around it, and my friend's gift to me was his dignity as he died. The conversation we had on the phone a week before he passed was full of humor, was full of gratitude towards our experience together, was full of accountability, and most importantly dignity, the way that he chose to realize that this was all his own creation, and with that he realized that he was happy to transition over and he was excited about his next part of his adventure. great gift for me, but the greatest gift of all he gave to me, as my curiosity around the whole idea of transitioning in this experience, was the nature of the awareness, and how it is free of the body, how the conditioning, levels of conditioning that come with the body, all the layers and personas and personalities and the conditioning and all of it's really the layers of all the conditioning we've taken over the years have just been dropped away, because the lens is no longer needed to be able to experience reality. And Jeff can, the awareness that was Jeff can move through any level of existence without the lens. The freedom the freedom to have that experience. I've been there before. I know what it's like to die and leave your body behind. I remember what it's like. The euphoria you feel when you're out of the genie's out of the bottle. But my magnetic center brought me to that place of understanding and a deeper remembrance of that knowledge through my own ability to draw to me from my magnetic resonance and center the experience of what I did with my friend as he passed and transitioned over. And that brought to me the awareness that, hey, this is where I was at. And now I feel in my magnetic center that I'm bringing into my life a sense of decompression from the 7 weeks I was with my friend, and the ability for me to actually move forward into a more curious phase of my life, and how I choose to move forward. So what I'm doing in my magnetic center now is remaining open and curious to what's available to me and around me. So when I move forward in my life now, I'm moving forward from that place of deep curiosity. So my magnetic center will bring into my life and my experience, through the nature of my curiosity, experiences that will pique my interest about going here or going there or doing this or doing that. And also I've opened up to the idea of staying up here in Auckland region until December, which is also something I didn't want to do when I first left Kapiti, to give my friend a break for 3 weeks before I went back to look after him full time. My intention was to go back to the Kapiti Coast, Wellington region, and continue to work down that way until I left to go to the South Island in December. Now my friend's transitioned over. There's no need for me to be on the Kapiti Coast anymore. There's no work for me down there, and there's no work for me in the Wellington region. So I have this curiosity around where to go to next and what to experience. So I'm open. And then so my magnetic center now is around the nature of that curiosity, what's available to me here in Auckland. And by being in that place, in that playful, curious space, I'm able to feel in my heart as though I'm in the right place at the right time, wherever I am and whatever I'm doing. And it's really special to be in that place. But once again, the one lesson I learned from Daniel Lynch, the dark journalist, this Gurdjieff work and the mystery school work, was the nature of the magnetic center, and being aware of it. What am I truly feeling in my core? What am I feeling in my actual deep awareness, the stillness, the void? What's there? What's the ping that I'm having? What's it going to bring into my life? What am I going to experience due to the nature of that ping from my magnetic center? And being truly conscious and aware of that as I move through my day. Wake up in the morning with the curiosity about how my day is going to unfold, with my magnetic center having a very clear ping going out into reality, into my world around me, in that place of stillness and awareness that my friend who's passed showed me is there for us all to be able to utilize in our bodies and out of our bodies, out of our containers. Thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. Mā te ua. I'll see you again soon.